And who have you made beats for, bro? That the people might not know that you've produced.
Well, right now, a lot of the artists that I made beats for, I mean, it's no mainstream artists right
No, it's
now.
all
It's
right,
like
but
a lot
still,
of
you know.
underground. Yeah, it's like a lot of underground. Cause like I got this. I'm gonna put out a project with on our label. He's put out stuff on his own too. His name's Young Brown.
Okay.
I made some beats for him. We got an artist named ARS. He's
Yeah.
a young cat. He's out of the 909 area. He got
Okay.
some pretty good stuff. Some beats for him. And then I did a lot of stuff on the Spanish Law album too, on the Crimes of Agony album. You
Okay.
know, yeah, but some other guys are just kind of like they're underground guys that you'll probably hear of, pretty soon coming out.
Okay. Shit.
Speaking of pretty soon coming out, who you feel right now in your eyes, and who do you feel like really is the next in line? You know, as far as you see somebody like, man, that guy right there, I see his grind, I see his talent, his sound is unique or got something special. Who do you feel is that person?
Man, shoot. I mean, I haven't heard a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of times I'm just kind of in the studio and making music, but like there's a few guys there that I'm like, man, they're pretty good. Like I could see them, like right now, they're doing it. And one of the guys that I really, and I have some songs with him too. Is I like Chino Grande a lot.
There
I
we
like
go.
yeah, he's a homeboy, and he's doing his thing, man. And then there's another guy that I've done some music for. He's pretty cool, a little different style, but Young Quicks is another guy.
Young
Okay.
Quicks,
He's out of
okay.
Oxnard. Yeah,
Okay.
Young Quicks, man, it's a homeboy. And then what's his name? I don't know him. Yeah, I haven't met homeboy yet, but what's his name? I think Little King G. I think. He got some
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool stuff.
King Lil G.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. He's got some good stuff. I think, and you know what I mean. No, and there's probably more. I mean, you know what I mean. I don't like. There's a lot of good artists out there.
Yeah, we
But
got.
those are some guys that I kind of like. Hey, you know what? They got some famous stuff.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that, player. You're the big dog now in the game,
Yep.
man. You can say
Yep.
whatever the fuck you
Yeah.
want. And if somebody got a problem, we got a problem with them too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because that's why we spend our time reaching out to particular artists like yourself and like Chino Brown and Kool-Aid and E-Dub. We've had them on our show because we recognize that these artists not only are doing something big for our movement as far as Raza is concerned, but
Paved the way.
Yeah, but they've paved the way. They got 5, 10, 15 years under their belt now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't just
Yeah.
come and go after one album.
Yeah.
They're still around putting in work and
Oh yeah.
and I know Kool-Aid has always admired your music, man. I remember when we talked to her, I asked everybody, like, who do you see? And she really, at the time, you were dropping your solo album, and she said, you got to look out for the solo album. It's real proper. It's real feed me. And, she definitely was behind you 100%. So that's why we knew we had to fuck with you, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, gracias, man. Like I said, yeah, I appreciate them very much. I mean, the whole movement that they've been part of, and so again, like, thank you, for reaching out, homie. You know?
No, and
It's a-
again, man, it's crazy to think that when we were youngsters,
Bumping you
bumping
guys.
18 with a bullet, and all these years later, look
Neta.
at, we got the guy who produced it, wrote it, was a part of the
I
whole
never
history.
thought-
We're here now, and it's just crazy how the dots connect, man. It's a real special
You
thing.
know how many joints and beers I've drank through that?
You know how much coke I did to that fucking song?
but it's crazy. And like Blaze just mentioned, that you guys are vets in the games and are people who should be respected for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And shoot, I mean, like I said, I'm just like, hey, I appreciate the love from you guys and from the Raza in general. I always tell fans when I talk to them, man, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be here. So it just feels good to see, like, they keep doing music and then to see these other generations still,
Yeah.
putting in work out there,
Let me ask you this: the way the game is right now, man. With the technology and the media, the social media websites. Everybody we've talked to has always kind of respected the independent grind over the media outlet. How do you feel? Does Facebook piss you off? Does Twitter and fucking all these down iTunes, does that shit piss you off? Or you're kind of like, hey man, I use that to my advantage. I like it. It's a shortcut for me to get to the people if they ever want it. How do you feel about the situation?
Well, I mean, to be honest, man, I kind of like, I roll with it, you just got to like, everything changes. So
Yeah.
if you don't stay with it, you know what I mean? And you're gonna get lost in the sauce. That's just how I
Damn.
see it. So
Dang.
to me, I embraced it, you know, because it is a good way for if you're independent, which is like myself, you know.
Yeah.
I liked it for that reason because you know you can be on major labels and you can be sitting on the shelf and they won't put you out.
Damn.
And it's
Damn.
like, you know, when you do it, your independent grind, you can get a lot out of it depending what you put into it. So
Oh,
with
shit.
Twitter and with all that, it's a good avenue to reach out to your fans and just kind of like, you know, promote and put out your product or your artist. And so I like it. I think I think it's pretty good because it puts you in touch with your fans, and a lot of your fans want to know about you. You know, not
Nice.
even your music. Sometimes they just want to know about your life. So I like that part about it. Eh? Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there somebody, or let me ask you this: is there somebody that maybe you were friends with, and they, let's say, you posted a comment and they responded, and you're like, "Oh fuck, he fucking said something." I know in the past we've had E-Dub like some of our photos. We've had King
MC
Lil
Magic,
G,
King Lil
MC
G.
Magic. You know, they click a like or give a comment, and we fucking do cartwheels up in this bitch. You know what I mean?
Backflips, and we don't know gymnastics.
Yeah. Is there anybody that's kind of done that for you on your social media site?
Like any of those like actors or artists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody.
anybody in general where you're like, oh shit, did you know La Pinche Nalgona Kim Kardashian click like, or you know what I'm saying?
I mean, a lot of them been pretty much peers, you know, artists that I've worked with. But let me see. Well, Danny Trejo was in the Smoker's Paradise video.
Nice.
Yeah.
That song we released, you know, and you know, on Twitter I got a hit from him, you know, and so like that. That's a big.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, whoa, you know, because he's doing his thing. He's huge, man. I was kind of like really happy about that, like, whoa, you know.
That's
But
dope.
yeah, pretty much that's one that I kind of was like, yeah.
That's
you know.
dope. No, that's dope, man. And believe it or not, you're in the mix, player, and you
Yeah.
you know you've been a part of the Chicano culture and history of it all. And now to hear you kind of feel and give the same reaction we do when we kind of get that kind of dap or that kind of love, man. I mean, it lets me know we're not the only ones who feel like, man, the little bit of work we're doing or the hard work is paying off.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course, man. And to be honest, I mean, like to me, even my peers, bro. Like even if it could be Bash, you know what I mean? Baby
Yeah.
Bash, like respond, it could be Little Rock. To me, that's special to me in itself. You know what I mean? Because those guys are like, hey, they're doing their thing, and
Yeah.
I just get excited about that, you know, because it's like, hey, you know what? They it's like you said, you know,
They're
when
still
you get it,
looking.
hey, okay, cool. Yeah, you know, they're still looking. We're still doing it, and it's mutual respect. So. Any of that, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, it feels good, man. It feels
Dope,
good.
dope. I'm glad we're not the only ones running around like little girls with cotton candy in their hand and shit when that happens.
You start jumping around doing cartwheels. I'm like, oh, that
Landing on the equipment here and
Hey, I'm
shit.
telling you, I did a backflip one time, and if you see me, you'd be like, damn, this fucker did a
Si ves este pinche
backflip.
nano, cabrón.
Like, man, no, but it feels good. You know what I'm saying? That everybody, you know, there's, you know, people showing love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? You guys, like
Yeah.
you, willing to, you know, give us some of your time and chop it up with us, and the people that listen to us still know that you guys are still out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't gotta watch you on MTV and do all that shit. The game, there's independent game and everything, and for the fans to be able to listen to your guys' voice and say, hey, I'm still out here. This is what I'm doing now. Check out my new stuff. That's all dope. You know what I'm saying?
no, hell yeah, homie. That's yeah, because like you said too, you know, you're right. MTV, they might not see our faces and these artists out there, but we're still here, you know. So I think the outlets that what you're doing, and like even, you know, all the outlets, man, vocal, like those kind of things, man. It's helpful, and it gets the music to these fans or these people, these gente that they don't even know, you know. So
Yup.
yeah, they need to know, you know. There's a lot of artists still making it happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's still putting out some good music, you know.
So let me ask you this, you know, do you have an official website, or where if people wanted to get merchandise or just follow you, where do they do that at?
Yeah, I got my own website, and then I got the company website. So Ese Daz is www.esedaz.com. But the one that I'm kind of like I just built right now too, I got going on is www.110south.com. And that's the one, like, with my company, my label, and that's with my nephew, man. He's a dope producer, man, and like he's coming. He's got a lot of, not just like hip hop, bro. That kid is, I mean, he grew up with me, you know. Just he's had, hip hop, reggae, everything. So
Dang.
that if you go there, you can see everything and the artists that I'm gonna be putting out under my label. That's 110south.com, man.
Let's talk about that, man, because that's news to me that you have a label and that you got artists, man. Like, when did that all come together for you? When were you like, man, it's time for me to, put some people on?
Yeah, it's been a process, It's been a process to get it all together. But I would say in the past, maybe year and a half, I really kind of been just checking it out and then seeing who's out there with these artists. And then, like I said, my nephew's been a big part of it too. He's always kind of been making music. He's a musician. I mean, straight up. Like he plays every instrument. So
Wow.
It's not like
Damn.
a beat maker. He's not just a beat maker. There's a difference. There's a difference between beat makers and
A musician,
yup. Yeah. So he's a musician. I always mess with him, man. I call him Baby Salas. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's what I was thinking just
know-
right now, dude. I was like, he's like David Salas, and
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
That's a
Crazy.
dope comparison, man, because we got a chance to talk to David Salas, and his history. That's crazy. You brought up Tierra, because that was his dad's group and a bunch of stuff. So you guys, it's crazy as we continue to interview our Chicano pioneers, like how everybody's kind of somehow tied back to the
Connected.
Mexican music. It goes all the way back to that, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it does. I mean, much love to David Salas, man. I've been to his studio. We did some songs together, and we'll probably do some more in the future. I like working with him.
Dope.
He's really dope, bro. Like in general, a good person and a good musician, and that's kind of like what my nephew reminds me of. He's young,
Damn.
but he's dope, bro. And so what it was is like he had his friends, and I have a studio at the house, and these rappers come around, and so that's how that whole thing about putting out artists kind of started, and I'm just hearing them, and that's how it all began. And Young Brown too, doing work with him, and he just kind of said, hey, let's do a project. I want you to put out a project with me. So I said, hey, let's do it. But it was just kind of like that, and then just having the ear and hearing what's coming next, like hearing these new artists, and just I want to kind of like, if I can help them, share their voice out there. Hey,
Yeah.
why not? So.
And let me ask you this: like when you say help them and put them out, do you feel like maybe there's a different route or a different approach you might take pushing them than what you saw happen to like you and the group? Like say, for example, heck, man, we got the website now. We want to handle the promo stuff a little different. We want to handle the actual physical copies different. Is that kind of how your mentality is now, or are you going to apply the old rules? You know what I'm saying, that you've been running with that worked for you on them?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, man. I feel like a learning process, like you said. A lot of things are different, man. Technology just changed the game,
Yep.
So it's a combination of both. Probably, like I said, put out some product, get some CDs done independently. Like it's always like the grind, like the guy who put me out from, my teacher who put us out, like the
That's
way he did
crazy
it, old
right
school, right? A little bit of that, I think, maybe use some of that. But then also, like now with marketing, man, that's where it's still kind of like, you got to learn it and get involved with that.
And
So,
it ain't
but I
even
think,
called marketing no more. It's called branding now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
actually, you're right, bro. You're right. And then that's where I want to brand 110 South. And I think with me, like what I do with the artists, and I don't have a lot of them, I'm still looking out for some other artists too. But like ARS, that kid I have, I just keep it real with him, homie. Like there's no hidden agenda with me and him. We just
Yeah.
like my whole thing with him is let's do it from the ground up.